Photographs are horrific. The last photo of Jolly Callan. This photograph of 18-year-old Jolly is particularly heartbreaking when you realise that just minutes after her boyfriend Lauren Bunner took the photograph, he shot her in the back of the head, and after turning her over, shot her again between the eyes.
Damn.
Then he pushed her off the 40-foot cliff. The young couple had dated for a while, but split up when Bunner became possessive and jealous.
Oh, he looked Amish.
Jolie's previous attempts to leave Bunner had failed when he threatened suicide. In August of 2015, Bunner asked Jolie to go for a hike as friends in Cheaha State Park, Alabama. Bunner posted 3 photos of Jolie on his Instagram account that day, this image being the last. On the drive home, Bunner contacted the police and confessed before pulling over to wait for his arrest. As though she knew something wasn't right, Jolie messaged her friend that night before the trip and said, "If something happens to me, you'll know who I was with." Bunner pleaded not guilty to murder, claiming that the couple
Now he looked like the singer from The Cure.
which, after killing Jolie, he said he couldn't go through with.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Despite being only 18,
Now
Bunner
he
was
looked
tried as an
Amish
adult,
again.
found guilty of murder and given a 52-year sentence. Ted Bundy playing with the neighbor's kids.
I was like, okay, so you got Bundy.
Elizabeth Cloifer met the American serial killer Ted Bundy when she worked as a receptionist at the University of Washington. She was 24, he was 2 years younger, and they spent 7 years in a relationship together. Her daughter Molly was 3 when she was introduced to Bundy, and she came to view him as a father figure. The 3 of them would go camping and sailing together. In the following photograph, it's chilling to see Bundy playing with Molly and her friends in the Seattle sunshine when we consider what he did to young girls. His own childhood was traumatic. He believed that his mother was his sister, and he was told that his grandparents were his parents. His grandfather was said to be a bigot and a bully who abused animals and battered his wife. Bundy was described as a handsome, intelligent, and charismatic, a real charmer. But beneath the surface, he was a sadistic sociopath who kidnapped, raped, murdered, and dismembered at least 30 women and girls over a period of just 4 years, in 7 states. The youngest being just 12. The true number of his victims remains unknown, and we did an in-depth documentary on him, which you can check out in the link in the description. Kim Wall. Kim was a successful freelance journalist who had reported stories from all over the world. Peter Madsen was a Danish entrepreneur and inventor who was well known in his own country. He had built 3 submarines and established a space program. Kim had been trying to pin down an interview with Madsen for many months and wanted to speak to him about his space lab where he researched and built rockets. So when he invited her to take a trip on his homemade submarine in Copenhagen, she didn't hesitate to agree. At 7 p.m. on the 10th of August 2017, she was photographed on board the UC-3 Nautilus with Madsen looking relaxed and smiling. Because he had feared that the sub wasn't seaworthy, Kim texted her partner before the Nautilus set off to calm his fears. "I'm still alive, by the way," she texted, "but I'm going down now, I love you." He brought coffee and cookies though. Kim was reported missing by her partner when she didn't return home. The sub was spotted the next morning, and Madsen was pulled to safety as it sank. There was no signs of Kim.
If somebody invited me
mutilated torso
to go into a goddamn submarine, hey man, you want to go in this submarine with me? Just me and you. I know you want to take a ride in a submarine. I'm like, man, fuck you. I don't fuck a submarine.
was found washed up 10 days later. Her head and limbs had been removed. After making up several excuses for Kim's death, including carbon monoxide poisoning, Madsen was convicted of sexual assault and murder and was sentenced to life in prison.
Her head came off. You know, it's carbon monoxide poisoning. Come on now, you know that.
America in the late 1940s could be a tough place to bring up a family. The economic after effects of World War II hit some people hard, and this sad image of the Callie Fox family of Chicago in 1948 gives us an insight into how desperate some people became. Pregnant with her 5th child at just 24, a young mother stands on the front step. Her 4 children, Lana 6, Ray Ann 5, Milton 4, and Sue Ellen 2, sit at her feet. The woman, Lucille Charlie Fox, turns her head away from the photographer, ashamed to show her face, whilst the children sit there unaware of their fate. Lucille, her husband Ray, who was 40, and their family were about to be evicted from their apartment. Ray had just lost his job as a coal truck driver, so with no money and no home, they decided to sell off their own children. All of the children in the photo, as well as the yet unborn baby that Lucille was carrying, were all either sold off or given away to strangers within 2 years of the picture being taken. And sadly, their lives did not improve because of it. 7-year-old Ray Ann was sold for $2, and her little brother Milton cried so much that the farming couple who brought Ray Ann took Milton as well. They were used for forced labor on the farm and regularly chained to the barn. The youngest boy, Bedford, not yet born in the photograph, was given away when he was 2. All of the children had their names changed by their adoptive parents, and after giving away and selling her 5 children, Lucille remarried and went on to have 4 more daughters.
What a psycho. She's like, I just sell kids. I'm nasty and weird.
Sophie Lyonnais. Sophie was 20 when she arrived in England from France to work as an au pair. She wanted to improve her English and thought she had found the perfect family to work for in London. Looking after Sabrina Cowder's children at the clothes designer's £900,000 home in upmarket Wimbledon seemed like the perfect job.
Especially like a Jersey Shore
Cordair
extra.
was delusional and physically abusive, who subjected Sophie to a campaign of cruelty. In the last month of her life, Sophie was interrogated, threatened, and beaten by Cordair and her boyfriend. The deranged Cordair believed that Sophie had been hired by her ex, a founding member of the boy band Boyzone, to spy on her in return for an acting role in Hollywood. In reality, Sophie had never even met Mark. Sophie was imprisoned and starved. She even made false confessions to try and appease her captors. In her final days, she was so badly beaten that 5 ribs were broken and her breastbone was cracked. After drowning a frail Sophie in the bath, Cordair and her boyfriend burned her body on a bonfire in the back garden and barbecued some chicken in a feeble attempt to cover up the smell. The evil couple were found guilty of murder and both sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 30 years. This tragic photograph shows the extent of the starvation and abuse that poor Sophie was suffering, having been taken just 2 days before she was murdered. The once vibrant 21-year-old
Who took the photo?
looks
They did?
emaciated and traumatized in the heartbreaking image. The Kiss of Death.
A statue?
Found in the Poblenou Cemetery, Barcelona, this marble statue is a haunting example of memento mori art. Memento mori means remember that you have to die, and has been used since antiquity in art to remind us of the inevitability of death. But death should not be feared. Instead, it should be embraced as one looks forward to the afterlife. The most common motifs used are skulls, as well as an hourglass to note the passing of time, or wilting flowers to signify the fragility of life. The Kiss of Death statue uses the idea of death in the form of a winged skeleton that embraces the dead man and gently lays a kiss on his cheek. The grave belongs to Joseph Laudet Sola, a textile manufacturer who died in 1930. The epitaph reads, "His young heart is thus extinguished, the blood in his veins grows cold, and all strength is gone. Faith has been extolled by his fall into the arms of death. Amen." It was written by the great Catalan poet, Jacinto Berger. The statue is the most famous piece of art in the cemetery, and is a haunting, yet peaceful reminder that death will one day kiss us all.
This dude.
Jason Moss and John Wayne Gacy. The serial killer Gacy raped and strangled at least 33 boys and young men in Chicago during the 1970s. He said he buried so many in his crawl space under his house that he lost count and ran out of room, so he had thrown 5 of them into the Des Plaines River.
Damn.
Jason Moss was a criminal defense attorney. As an honors student, he began a research project that delved into the minds of serial killers. He did this by corresponding with and interviewing many notorious killers, including Manson, Ramirez, and Jeffrey Dahmer. In order to conduct his research, he took on the role of what he thought would best appeal to his subjects, whether that was an admirer, devotee, or potential victim. Moss later wrote the book, The Last Victim, a true life journey into the mind of the serial killer, which became a bestseller. It was with John Wayne Gacy that Moss formed his most intense relationship and who he interviewed face to face. To entice Gacy, he played the role of a young gay man despite being heterosexual. Moss said he felt manipulated and overpowered by Gacy, even though he had deliberately led him on,
What?
and said it made him sick to his stomach.
No, it
It's
didn't.
hard to keep it in perspective who Gacy
Bro.
is when you speak to him every single day.
How you gonna go in fake gay and come out
He
like,
referred
man,
to
he was
himself
so
as Gacy's
charming,
last
bro.
victim.
I was sick.
Gacy was executed by lethal injection in 1994, and sadly, Jason Moss shot himself in 2006 after his mental health took a downward spiral. He was just 31 years old.
Terrible.
For Neuron Delta Necropolis. For more than 26 centuries, these 8 men have been buried together in 2 mass graves near Athens in Greece.
Okay.
The skeletons were lined up side by side, some on their backs and some on their stomachs. 36 of their arms above their heads, bound with iron shackles, and the last skeleton found had his legs tied with rope. All 80 were killed in a similar manner, and all of the men were young and in a good state of health when they were executed, and are not thought to have been slaves. Excavations began in the necropolis, which contains many other skeletons, when the site was chosen for a new cultural centre, which will house an opera house, and Greece's national library. It was then that the ancient Greek communal tomb, or polyandrion, was unearthed. The men could have been part of a mass execution sometime between the 8th and 15th centuries BCE. It's thought that they could have been followers of Cylon. He was an aristocrat and one-time Olympic champion who wanted to rule Athens. In 632 BCE, Cylon led a failed coup. He and his supporters sought refuge in the temple of the Acropolis. They finally surrendered when they were guaranteed their lives, but were massacred anyway. Could the 80 skeletons found at Phaleron be Cylon's supporters, slaughtered at the temple and taken to the nearby necropolis to be buried? No one really knows who they are or why they were killed. Near miss. A nuclear weapon has never been used since 1945, when 2 were dropped on Japan, bringing about the end of World War II. But since the conception of the atom bomb, humans have been living through the most dangerous time in their history, and the amount of near misses should give us all cause for alarm. Scarily, many of these instances were caused by silly mistakes or a lack of basic communication. A B-52 bomber broke up in mid-air on January 1961, and it was carrying 2 Mark 39 nuclear bombs. Each bomb was about 250 times more destructive than the one dropped on Hiroshima. The plane came down in North Carolina, and with it fell the 8 megaton cargo, and the image shows one of the bombs. In 2013, declassified information was released that showed how close the bombs came to detonating, although the US government denied there was any danger at the time. If the worst had happened and the bombs had exploded and the wind was blowing just right, then the lethal radioactive fallout would have reached New York.
Damn. They would have wiped their ass out.
Omaira Sanchez.
I'm seeing if this shit work. You're about to hear some noises.
Erupted in Amero, Colombia.
Don't cry about the
Volcanic
noise.
debris mixed with ice and formed massive
Damn,
mudslides.
yeah, I gotta figure out why this shit is not working with my controller.
More than 25,000 people died, and 13
Because then we
villages
could play
were
this shit
demolished,
and it'd be
including
fun.
Amero. After a mud
Look
flood
like it might be
demolished her
working.
home,
Uh-oh.
the 13-year-old Amira was trapped beneath debris in water for 3 days. During her ordeal, volunteers spent time trying
It's
to comfort
working.
Amira. She sang, cried,
Hey,
and prayed,
it works.
but began to hallucinate as she reached the end of her life. Her eyes reddened and her hands turned white. Despite the efforts of relief workers who spent 60 hours trying to free her, she died as a result of hypothermia and gangrene.
Damn.
This photograph was taken just before Amira's death and highlighted the failure of the Colombian government to plan for natural disasters. Smaller than a teacup. No one is sure when the practice of lotus feet made by the process of extreme foot binding began, but this cruel, disfiguring and harmful procedure was considered the very definition of beauty in ancient China from around the 10th century. Done for the benefit of men who found lotus feet to be particularly erotic, small feet were seen as a status symbol. Men believed that because of the foot binding, women could only take little steps. This difficulty in walking supposedly meant that women had to use the muscles on their inner thighs, hips and pelvic area more, and consequently their pelvic floor tightened. Tragically, the procedure began around the ages of 4 to 9, with the girls being told that it was the only way for them to be desirable and make a good marriage. The agonizing process took as long as 2 years. The toes were bent underneath and pressed into the sole of the foot,
Ew.
with the toes in the arch of the foot being forcibly broken and then bound
She
tightly.
got that stank
The
foot.
feet were then unwrapped and rebound tighter each time. Lotus feet were not banned in China until the mid-20th century. This mind-blowing photograph was taken around the time of World War I and shows the feet of a Chinese woman when compared to a teacup and an average-sized American woman's shoe.
But why would you want that, though? Why would you want your girl's
The
feet to
Mengele
look like...
experiments.
Her feet look like Ninja Turtle hands. Why would you want your girl's feet to look like that?
Dr. Joseph Mengele was a Nazi war criminal known as the Angel of Death. He was a physician and SS officer during World War II at Auschwitz concentration camp. He chose who should be sent to the gas chamber at the camp. Mengele used his time at Auschwitz as an opportunity to carry out human
These dudes are
experimentation.
fucking monsters.
His fascination with twins was extensive, and he can be seen here conducting some cruel research on twin boys.
Vicious.
Usually he would experiment on one twin and then kill the other so that he could compare the two bodies. Mengele intended to help prove the superior of the Aryan race by demonstrating that biological inheritance won out over environmental factors. It's possible that Mengele may have also wanted to find out how the German people could produce more twins and add to their numbers. At the end of the war, Mengele fled to South America, moving from country to country, whilst being pursued by Nazi hunters, such as Simon Wiesenthal. In 1979, he suffered a stroke while swimming off the coast of Brazil and drowned. He was buried under a false identity, but later exhumed and identified. His skeleton is used as an educational tool at the University of São Paulo. Fire escape collapse. This polite surprise-winning photograph was taken in 1976 by Stanley Foreman. He worked for the Boston Herald and was called out to a fire at a row of Victorian buildings. On arrival at the scene, Foreman followed fire trucks around the back of the building and saw that people were trapped up on the fire escape. Diane Bryant, 19, and her 2-year-old goddaughter, Tia Jones, were just two of the people waiting for firefighters to reach them. A firefighter named Bob O'Neill lowered himself onto the fire escape from the roof. The ladder was raised, but just as Diane was about to climb to safety and hand Bob the baby, the fire escape collapsed. Unfortunately, Diane died from her injuries, but miraculously, little Tia fell on top of Diane's body and survived. The firefighter was able to grab the ladder and cling on before hoisting himself back up to safety. Foreman took a series of images that day, but it's this one that was used on fire safety campaigns and paved the way for a new law, making property owners responsible for the fire escape safety. The Boy in the Suitcase. Travel vlogger Sarah Funk has almost 170,000 followers on YouTube. She is best known for her videos that focus on New York City, but she also produces posts from her holiday travels around the world. Sarah was on holiday in Cyprus in 2007 with her partner Lewis, when he took this photo of her at the Mitsero Red Lake. The lake was once a quarry used by a copper pyrite mine company and has become a popular, if unusual, tourist destination, even though it's off the beaten track. During the winter, it fills up with water, which turns red because of the acid. Sarah can be seen sitting next to the water with some box-like objects floating in the background. At one point in her YouTube video, Lewis jokes, "This is what murder episodes are made of," and Sarah, who seems a little creeped out by the place, also says, "I just feel death in the air." Fast forward 2 years, and a captain in the Cypriot army confessed to the murder of 5 women and 2 children. The serial killer admitted he put 3 of his victims' bodies into suitcases and dumped them in the Red Lake. Only 2 of the bodies has been retrieved there. It would seem that Sarah and her partner were in the presence of the victims when they made their travel video.
Okay, stretch. Big stretch, dude.
Jane Mansfield car crash. The actor Jane Mansfield was known for a blonde bombshell image. She rose to stardom in the 1950s and took Hollywood by storm in films such as The Girl Can't Help It and Too Hot to Handle. Jane was traveling to an engagement at a nightclub in New Orleans with her driver, her lawyer, and close friend, and 3 of her 5 children. At about 2:30 a.m., the 1966 Buick Electra that they were riding in crashed into the rear of a tractor trailer at high speed. The 3 adults in the front seat died instantly, but the 3 children in the back miraculously escaped the crash with minor injuries. The youngest child, Mariska, went on to become an actor herself and has starred as Olivia Benson for over 20 years in the hit TV show Law & Order SUV. The photograph shows the sheer devastation of the impact and the damage caused to the car, which had its roof sheared straight off.
Isn't it SVU, not SUV? SUV is a vehicle.
The vulture and the little girl. Kevin Carter took this picture in 1993 whilst covering the famine in Sudan. The frail little boy is starving, and was initially believed to be a girl. Lying face down in the hot sun, the boy is being eyed greedily by a hooded vulture. The child was trying to reach a United Nations feeding centre about a half-mile away in Iod, but was just too weak to walk. Carter received the Pulitzer Prize for feature photography for the image in 1994, but he was highly criticised for taking a photo instead of helping the child and was accused of making poverty porn. In 2011, a man came forward and revealed that the child was in fact a boy named Kong Yong, and he had survived and been cared for at the UN food station. Unfortunately, he died in around 2007 from a fever. Just 4 months after receiving the Pulitzer, Carter committed suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning at the age of just 33. Traumatized by the things that he had witnessed in Africa, and the condemnation of the work he did there contributed towards him ending his own life. Part of his suicide note read, "I am haunted by the vivid memories of killings and corpses and anger and pain, of starving or wounded children, of trigger-happy madmen, often police, of killer executioners." So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.
He just bit off more than he could chew. He was like, let me go into Sudan. I want to get the best photo I can get. Turns out, that was the last photo he was gonna get. Cooking Reddit's worst recipes. This better be good.
Show where I find the worst recipes on the internet and I feed them to my brother.
The next one is coffee pot spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's that one's a classic. Look good?
Sure.
Fuck, why not? Does that even need to be in there? I'll put it in there. Just
What? The lid?
yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it pushes up the thing so water can come out. Really don't want to leak in here.
As it doesn't even touch.
Oh yeah, it doesn't, does it? It's fine. I'm trying to spread all types of cooking out here. I don't want this show to be, you know, like some people make cooking shows and they're just like, I'm just gonna do one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not a one-trick pony.
No, I'm trying to. I want.
Why
stuff
does
to
it
be
look
on
like
the
he's in a green
Dutch knife,
screen,
stuff to be
and then
cooked with
he's
the
in-
coffee pot, the
Why does it not look
microwave.
like they're in the same
Unbelievable.
place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and these are things that everybody has.
Yeah.
So he's in
next time
a.
I'm gonna
He's definitely
cook
not in the
with,
same
like,
place.
I'm sure if you put like a can of stew, a progressive stew, into a toaster and push down, you probably
Yeah.
eat
It's
that
weird.
puppy up.
Bet you can make French toast.
I don't like
And then you
it.
put your face over it with your mouth.
And
And
then
then
he's
when
got
it's
like
finished,
blood
it's
on his
spawn
fucking
out.
chef.
I
He's got like
cannot
blood
touch
on
it.
it.
Yeah, straight into your face. We'll let it simmer for a
What's
minute.
up with them cookies?
Oh, that's the final.
What's in the cookies?
They're just cookies.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like you went through the gauntlet. You get cookies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we made them yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, it seems to be pretty pliable.
Yeah, I'll eat that.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna pour out the water and use it for the next stage.
Yeah. Isn't that like a secret to cook? No, that's potato.
Yeah,
Potato water.
you reuse the potato water,
Yeah. For what though?
coffee and stuff. Tea.
Really?
No. This doesn't look bad. It did a pretty good job of
You got a
making.
little bit of butter?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Dude, those noodles turned out pretty good. They're
Yeah.
surprisingly cooked. One half of the noodle is certainly more cooked than the other. Anyways, oh yeah. Let me get the other thing going. Do you mind if I use the spaghetti water, or do you want me to freshen up some?
No, that's
water?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, spaghetti water. That's
It's good.
That's how you do it.
That's disgusting.
Now, do you like your bologna with the skin on or off?
What are we doing? A shepherd's pie?
Yeah, something like that. So this one is, it's more of like a street taco made with bologna. And
Oh.
Is this a fucking bologna gordita?
I don't know. I just saw a picture of it and I said, that's funny. I want to see Zach eat that. That's really the only criteria that has to be passed for something to make it on this program. Is that...
I want to see my poor brother.
Yep.
Fucking gag.
It's just worth $500 to you, bitch. This requires instant mashed potatoes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that's...
I haven't had instant mashed in forever. You know what Abby likes doing? She gets actual mashed potatoes, cuts them up, boils them.
I bought a bag of potatoes
And
to
mash
do
it.
that for, and like, I don't know, I might do it tonight, but...
You should do what we did when we grew up, which is Mom would buy a bunch of potatoes and then let them sit in the pantry so long that fucking leaves and shit grow out of them.
Yeah.
You open the door, it's like Jumanji. It's like a door into another world. You got fucking stalks of potato shit coming up. No, I haven't had like instant mashed potatoes in a minute. Yep. I was wondering, how'd Mom get them texture in them taters growing up? How did she achieve that kind of consistency? Because Abby's mashed the shit out of some potatoes. Ain't never had this consistency. All right.
You like that consistency?
No, I don't.
The toothpaste?
Yeah, it's a weird like tapioca.
Yeah.
Now, I know you don't eat mayonnaise, so this isn't mayonnaise. This is avocado oil.
This is hands down the saddest thing you've served me yet.
This, what's wrong with this? Wait, fold it up in
Ew.
taco style so that people can see. It's so slimy.
Looks like somebody's booty
Oh,
cheese.
yeah, show it off. There you go. Get a little side view.
Look
Oh,
like
that
capers
looks
and
good.
booty cheese in a bologna sandwich. That shit look disgusting for real.
I want it to be said.
He looked like the kind
Today's
of
an off
motherfucker
day.
that would
I'm
eat this
here
shit
because
though.
I have to be, not because I want to be.
He wants to be.
He looked like the
Don't
kind of
worry about
motherfucker that'd pack
This
that
is
for
the
a
male
lunch.
equivalent of like going to the neighboring town to strip. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, we ain't got the body for OnlyFans. This is what we got. All right.
work with what you got.
Yeah. Go on, try some. It's good.
I've never ever seen you gag.
He didn't even
I
eat
ate
it.
some vile shit.
That's-
But I'm gonna agree. Something about cold bologna is fucking gross to me.
Didn't one of Mom's boyfriends make chitlins and you were? Or no? It was
Tripe.
Tripe.
Yeah, this fucking idiot got cow stomach. Was it cow stomach?
Yeah, I think so.
He got cow
Yeah,
stomach,
like
and he
cow intestine.
meticulously turned it inside out and cleaned it for like ever.
Yeah, like all day.
And he was just like, he was Puerto Rican, so he kept coming in there and he kept going, like, I was playing video games, he kept going like, Sam, you're gonna love this shit. He talked like Joey Diaz. Like, Sam, you're gonna love this shit. No, he didn't talk like that.
That'd be really funny if you talked like Joey
He was like,
Diaz.
you're gonna love this shit, dude. My family makes the best tripe. I'm like it doesn't trickle down the genes. Like, it's, yeah, like he's just like, he saw his mom made good tripe or whatever. So he spent all day making it. And then I remember he pulls it out and he's just like, all right, guys, here it is. And he takes the first bite because he's the chef. And he immediately just goes, nope, that I wouldn't eat that.
Boys, let's call pizza.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's, I got rice here. If you guys want rice, we got some sides, but the tripe is no good. I just love how it's just one forkful. It's just, I tried some though. Not
Yeah?
good. Not
No?
good. Very spongy, very, I don't fucking know. Like, yeah, it was just like.
did it have any color to it?
No, it was just like a weird.
Microwave
like an alien
steak
that
is
he was
next.
serving me. All right, so last time you neglected to select steak. It was on the menu. It was obvious grab of just like,
Oh god, yeah. Was this the microwave steak?
yes.
Fuck.
No,
So, what's wrong with this?
That
It's
looks
a beautiful
disgusting.
Steak.
you're a
Nothing wrong with
disgusting bastard.
Yeah.
You're a
Look at
bastard if you do
Oh,
this.
fuck this up.
You
fucking
deserve
it up.
hell.
About the microwave.
You deserve lower than hell.
That's
You
a-
deserve like
look at
the
that
icy parts of
Put my
hell.
microwave up here.
Also, why do I get the exhaust of the microwave radiation here?
Well, so they can
That's
see
what
that
you
I'm putting
need,
it
bro.
in
You
there
need
for
that right on them
14 and a half
bitties.
minutes. How long do you think?
Big
how long
boy
do you microwave a
bitties.
steak for?
Radiate
By the
them
way, that thing's
bitches.
running off of a 50
Oh, he
amp
got
breaker,
up.
so it's gonna take like 20 minutes to cook.
That's so disgusting.
We'll be all right.
Nasty.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, fuck.
Pee Wee Herman in the
Don't
back,
start working out.
disgusted.
I would like to do that, but everything's so heavy. First of all, second of all, I don't want to go there and then and then I try to like lift something, and then there's people just going like, "Ha ha, your form sucks, ha ha," and I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna get like weights for Abby's side. I was gonna push Abby into like a closet or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get a legit like weight rack.
Home gym?
Yeah, home gym.
Yeah.
I'm talking. We're gonna be blasting Rammstein in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the big fucking doing fucking. I hope the kids don't get in the way because I'm dropping this shit when I'm done. Big fucking doing fucking. I hope the kids don't.
How
get in
did
the
I
way
go
'cause
back?
I'm dropping this shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
They wouldn't ask them.
There's 19 seconds left
Not one bit.
on the microwave.
Undercover Brothers.
Yeah.
Undercover Minch. That doesn't have the same ring to it. That'd be a horrible movie. Undercover Brothers sequel to blonde-headed Jewish kids in Nazi Germany. All right, let's check on this steak.
Undercover Men sound like a gay porno.
Oh my god. This is horrific. It don't look too good, Cap. How do you like your steak? Well done or
Yeah.
no chance.
That shit look like brains.
This is the wettest fucking steak I've ever seen in my
That shit
life.
look like brains.
Oh man, that plate is going to shatter. That is hot. That's a
Yeah.
damn fine steak.
That's that
And you
ninja.
want
That's
that cooked a
a
little
slice
more,
of that
right?
brain from the Ninja Turtles.
Hey, it's National Video Game Day.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't play that nerd shit, dude.
Gross.
Oh, I saw some pretty horrific
That shit's nasty.
roadkill yesterday. Driving down the road.
This is the quickest $500 you can make, guaranteed.
I found a pretty good spot.
No, you found a well done spot, dude. Give me some of that medium. Give me something from the heart. Cut into the heart. Give me this. Give me this, boy. Let me get in there. Oh, dude. Oh, that's fucking well.
Yeah, shit.
Hold on.
Dude, do not eat that.
Look at this.
Motherfuckers
Oh, it's not
is
gonna focus.
nasty.
I can show it to the class. Hold on. We'll bring it up to. Hold on. It's a fine steak, dude.
The sounds.
How did you like move this?
Pretty good?
Yeah, steak. Tastes like a steak.
Disgust.
What's wrong? What's the face for?
Spam cookies.
Beef stew?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Well, you've made it through the gauntlet. Wasn't that
Shit,
bad?
that was it?
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad.
We have some cookies.
Yeah, this was kind of
Tacos
lame.
were pretty bad.
Just
It
some
could have been
regular
better.
cookies.
You should have just fed him shit on like a tostada. He's like, what's that? It's like, it's my shit on a tostada. It's like, I'm not fucking eating this, dude. It's not food. But no, it's my shit. It's like, I know what it is. Fuck you.
There's nothing wrong with these. They're just chocolate chip.
Oh, nice. Finally, a trick. A trick and a trap. Here's a trick and a trap for your fucking tubby ass.
No.
Get him.
Taste one.
Get him.
No.
They're just cookies.
Here's a trick and a trap, bitch.
No.
I'll eat one.
No. No. What'd you get? Crickets?
No. Just a cookie.
Uh-uh.
You don't want one?
No, either it's an insect or they're like pot brownie. They're pot cookies, and you're gonna.
I wouldn't drug you without you knowing.
Wreck me.
What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? What you got that spoon there for? What you doing there with that there spoon?
Oh, he's ruining it. He ruined the video.
This isn't a king cake. You don't get something if you find something.
Oh, what is that?
There's spam cookies. There's a little bit of spam in
No, you fucking nasty fuck. Are you serious?
it. Yeah, there's a little bit of meat in there. It's salty and sweet, Zach.
Is it spam or ham?
It's spam.
Oh, no.
You don't want any of the spam cookies?
He's just eating it.
What's wrong with you? Why?
They're good.
Why?
They're so salty. I got you something for enduring. It's a shirt that I thought you would enjoy. Something to wear out on the town.
Circumcised.
How badass is that? This is my brother. We have the same penis, but his is not circumcised for some reason. Mom was like, nah,
Ew.
penis, but his is not circumcised
Where you
for
keep
some
the
reason.
smegma? Ew,
Mom
what a
was like-
nasty. What a nasty.
Well, we're not gonna do the firstborn. We'll do the second.
And there's another one?
Hello, everybody. This is my brother, Zach.
Oh, this is his
You might
brother.
remember him from the hiking video from a podcast episode.
Garlic
And
cream
recently,
cheese toast.
He got divorced. He's been pretty vocal about how expensive his divorce is.
Baby,
I would
get
never
me a
even get
napkin.
married. Why would you even
Okay,
get married?
Let's get this started. I would like the garlic cream cheese toast.
That's not even gonna affect you.
Excellent choice, sir.
Is that fresh garlic?
Yes.
Was that 4 cloves of fresh garlic?
Yes, it is. No, it's 3. It's 3 cloves. 4, that would be absurd. That's a laughable amount. You know, what's funny is actually there's a bagel place in town, and Zach, I was like, hey Zach, you want me to pick you up some breakfast? And he was like, sure, dude, yeah, go in there and get me like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel.
Tell her I said hey.
And I was like, all right, what kind of bagel you want? Like everything or something like that? He's like, no, I want a garlic bagel.
No, it has cream cheese,
Yeah.
bacon, and provolone. It's a bacon melt without the tomato.
And I asked for it, and the lady goes, she was like, is this for somebody? I said, why? And she goes, because there's only one motherfucker. There's only one motherfucker in this town that orders,
They only make 2 bagels a day for that.
hoping that on the off chance
Yeah.
you come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's sad. Like that nobody else, because everybody else goes like, oh, it's 8 a.m. The last thing I want to eat is a fucking garlic bagel. That would fuck my breath up for the rest of the day.
Is that Philadelphia?
Oh, only the best for
Okay.
my patrons.
Better be for
Yeah.
$100 toast.
Well, believe it or not, this restaurant operates at a loss. Yeah.
Really?
Not really raking in the money, paying people $100 for some toast. All right, so first you add the garlic. Now, or not the garlic, you add the cream cheese. And then you do what separates this from average garlic cream cheese toast.
The cooks from the chefs.
Yes. This is what separates a normal chef from a gastronomist. Which is a word I learned about yesterday when I was looking up what to name this restaurant. Notice on the menu, it's called the Suicidal Gastronomist. Don't you smack it on the side?
Yeah.
Then what?
And you
It
break it
wasn't
open.
even hard enough.
That didn't do anything. That was like,
Well, you got to hit it with authority.
oh, okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, we got somewhere. We got some.
Do I get the peel too?
No, you don't get the feel. I got to pay you extra for that. Oh my. It's getting kind of stinky over here. Stench is unbearable. What you want to do is when you're peeling these, you want to dig your fingernail under it.
Bro, I don't want to watch this motherfucker actually peel garlic,
They
bro.
like-
Get to the damn, get to the sandwich.
Garlic toast.
Look how long it took. It took so long it got dark in there. Like I said, this ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Is that doing it for you?
It would be like cutting up garlic, putting it in, blending garlic with cream cheese, and then spreading it. It wouldn't even be nasty.
That's good.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably good.
I'm not trying that, you fucking animal. I already ate dinner.
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Would you care for a beverage, sir? Take a look. We have many to choose from.
I'll take a hot Dr. Pepper.
This one is an advertisement directly from Dr. Pepper itself. Back in the early 60s,
Really?
they said, hey, people like drinking our beverage cold, but how do we put absolutely zero effort into a new product while giving people the illusion that it's more versatile than it is? And they came up with hot Dr. Pepper.
I'm about it.
And what they do is you just steam that bad boy, you get it nice and hot, serve
Yeah.
it with a lemon wedge.
Yeah. Like hot toddy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it honestly, it doesn't look, I'm curious to try it myself.
I was going to say, are you going to make two?
Yeah, I might. We can
Okay.
have them
Yeah.
together. Dr. Pepper in. Make sure it gets nice and hot. And then you serve it in a teacup, possibly a coffee cup, or even a shekelscheme.com huge hand mug.
Yeah?
That's some piping hot DP, buddy. Hey, I'm telling you, if you go on google.com and you put into that search engine hot DP, picture of this is going to come up. Put the lemon down in there. I think mine has a little bit of garlic on it. Try that on. Look at that. Got a little lemon in there.
Shit smells good.
Does it smell good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this ain't half bad.
No, listen, I would like another.
I don't want that.
Another? I've never had a patron ask for another. You said you wanted the
These aren't even
hot
nasty,
Cheeto
bro.
cheese?
Yeah, I think so.
That's not gonna be
Number one?
nasty either. Cheese pancakes. Yeah, let's go to cheese pancakes.
Move on from the appetizers.
Cheese pancakes.
Yeah,
Cheese
this could be
pancakes.
fucking rough.
Out of a digging.
Honestly, no, because then this is just a McGriddle. Yeah, this is just a. Yo, what is this?
Really, that's amazing since it's not cheese.
It's
It's Kraft singles.
it's Kraft singles. It's
not cheese.
basically cheese.
He doesn't throw
Those
up.
fucking
I don't think he throws up at all.
commie cheese people came together and said that's not cheese. The government should come out and say that that's not cheese. And they were trying to get them to call it embalmed cheese.
I'm
Who
over
the fuck
this.
wants to eat?
I wanted to see this guy fucking throw up chunks, dude. I wanted to see him blow loads. See, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I wanted to see him fucking bust. Yo, something's wrong with you, man. I watched so many of these, it's like almost no point. The voodoo video wasn't good, it was just cringe. It was just cringe as fuck. It's loud. It looks virtually the same. Looks virtually the same. What the fuck? People talking about it's a huge step up, bro. It's virtually the fucking same, my guy. Like, what are you talking about, nipple bitch? Little nipple bitch. The mole people. be a old person. I want to hang out with your girlfriend. Top 5 times scary. See, this is the top 5 scary videos people do. I'm not a fan. What the fuck is this? Hi, Germa. You know, Germa probably hates this. Danny DeVito describes the origins of his It's Always Funny, Always Sunny character, Frank. How about no? How about I'm not gonna watch that? I don't give a shit about Fantano getting dissed by Drake. Sean C coming to defend Fantano. You can't do us YouTubers like this. Me and Fantano hang out. We hug. We kiss. It's like, okay, bro. It's okay, bro. You'll be alright. On Cracker Island, it was so. On Cracker Island, it was. It's on myself to be a crime. Maybe I should have a pissy baby. Don't hit me so let it up. Cultural blasphemy.
If you fire up Smash Brothers, have you heard the songs that they have at the beginning of it? Like, they hired the Symphony Orchestra in New York to sing the theme of Smash 5.
Yeah, because they're so busy.
That song was beautiful, man.
Bumping that.
Yeah.
They were so busy. Like, oh my God, can we get you for the? Yeah, we're available.
You could push the recording up. I have to pay rent.
They're like, we got the orchestra, Ariana, we're good.
We haven't worked since the last Smash Bros. Actually.
There's no timestamps. What's this bullshit about?
I couldn't
Why
get
are-
past a certain aspect.
Why are there no timestamps? Why are there no timestamps, man? What's this shit? Dreamcast was the best Sega system.
Like, I don't know.
So wait, we got what? The Saturn, the Genesis.
In the dream?
16-bit.
It was like a Mega Drive one. The Mega Drive, the Sega Mega Drive.
32X.
32X, that's another one, yeah.
And then they had a handheld one, right?
Game Gear.
Oh, the Game Gear is the worst.
She said the Game
Game Gear is freaking amazing.
Every
No.
Game Gear I ever held was always a friend's, and you know what? Why was the batteries on both sides and both of the battery pack holding things were always missing?
Oh, Jesus.
Every time.
That's some ghetto shit.
Every single time.
Did
There
they
was
have
never
tape in the back? And they...
every single time. So you're playing, guess what? Game's gone now.
Did you have Dreamcast, Pat?
I did have the Dreamcast. I like the Dreamcast. They had Power Stone, Royal Rumble,
Do you feel like it was the
Seaman.
best?
You have
think-
Seaman?
I don't have Seaman. I wish I did.
No, not what I meant. That was the joke, though. Seaman, it was like that fish with the human head,
face, they were
and you had to like feed it, and they like ate each other. It was really
That's great.
sickening.
So do you think Dreamcast was the best Sega system?
I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting take.
You're believing it more after you read it and
It
wrote
was the coolest
and it started
because
to-
at least
I
it
like
was
the Dreamcast.
3D.
I don't know if I agree with this though.
Brody,
innovative.
you're
Should've
very
played
silent and
DVDs.
very-
Yeah, I was waiting my turn. I'm being
Yeah.
patient. You know, I don't want to show my hand or on any.
Oh, show your hand because you wrote it?
No, I didn't write this, but I'm just saying. Like,
So you
I'm
think
trying-
Dreamcast was the best Sega system?
I think it's up there. I think it's a pretty good system. I mean, like again, yeah, Power Stone was fire. It had Ready to Rumble, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2.
There you go. That's what I forgot. Sonic
they
Adventures.
Had they had a Jet Grind Radio. That was the game you roller
So
skated.
Jamie, you never played Dreamcast?
I played Sega.
Which one?
It was black.
Sega Genesis?
Oh,
think that
Sega
was the
Genesis,
Genesis,
yeah.
the one with the cartridges. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. I mean, I played that, you know, like Donkey Kong, stuff like that.
Donkey Kong on Sega?
No.
Was it? It wasn't? Not Donkey
That
Kong.
was Super Nintendo.
Super
Talking
Nintendo.
about Sonic, and they had what was the Scrooge McDuck. He had a great game on Genesis.
Yo,
Yeah, he
Quackshot
did.
had Quackshot,
Quackshot.
the DuckTales game.
Yeah.
it
That
was
was a
man.
bad-
I think that was it.
It was
Was that the one
Yeah,
Donald
with
Duck.
that was great.
No,
but
that wasn't your Scrooge. That was DuckTales.
Okay.
You were Donald Duck on Quackshot, and he shot plungers out.
that was on Dreamcast?
I do remember that.
That was on
That
Sega.
was fire.
That game was fire.
But I might agree with this. Dreamcast was low-key better than, now that I'm thinking of Genesis.
So, okay, it's not Pat.
Aha. Or did I
Is
just say
it?
that?
Yeah. I feel like it's either Brody or Jamie.
Well, it's got to be one of us.
Best Sega system?
Yeah.
Like the best. Let's like look at the like game catalog for the
Exactly.
Genesis, the Mega Drive. Like those were some serious game catalogs.
Exactly.
To have. Dreamcast's catalog was
Yeah. But who is so likely to make a statement like that? Is it someone who is new to gaming, or is it someone who is just outlandish about gaming?
You can even think this if you were new to gaming.
I'm gonna go with Seaman. You have Seaman? You know, like Donkey Kong. Yo, Quackshot had Quackshot? Quackshot.
Quackshot had Quackshot.
Right.
Brody!
I said Brody!
Please explain.
Let me explain myself. The Dreamcast didn't get the chance that it deserved.
Right, that's true.
That system was so beautiful.
Shakira is so beautiful.
It was handcrafted with excellence. The controller felt good. You could put memory cards that were their own game
had a
inside the
screen.
controller.
True.
It had a
Innovative.
screen, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
When I was raising kids in my controller from playing Sonic Adventure. You had these little
Chow.
chow. Yeah, I was raising
That's right, yeah.
little chows,
little
going to
chows.
school, playing a game, hooking them. You could play another game with your friends that they had them cooking it up, man. You could put your Rumble Pack in there, and you could put your thing in there, and then
Put your
somebody
thing.
found out, somebody got hip, understood how to bootleg game. So I don't know if you knew. Once it got really real, you had every game because you could just burn them on the CD.
I remember
So
that shit.
once I
I remember
found that
that.
out, I was like, oh man, I don't need to buy no more Dreamcast games because I had the homie Ashford Rose. He was a senior in high school when I was like a sophomore, and he was burning them joints for us.
And you wonder why they didn't give it a chance. Because it was you really burned
Right, what's the next question?
The screen, please.
Fortnite is the best game ever made.
Can I
No,
flip this?
trash.
Fortnite is the best game ever made?
I'ma flip this.
Hold on, these are 3 adults, right?
I'm flipping the
I
table.
would hope so, Brody. I would hope so. I don't know.
She wrote
where-
that. The girl in the
where
blue
this
shirt
from.
wrote it.
Wow. Fortnite. Okay,
It's
so
the best game ever made? Ever?
I'm gonna start with Jamie.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
just
you
get this out
should.
the
That's
way.
a good way to start.
Jamie, yeah.
First of all, I'll let this out anyway. Question.
Jamie, okay, so Fortnite is the best game ever made? What do you
I
like about
think-
Fortnite?
I think it's a good game.
Why is it called Fortnite?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Because the building forts, right?
Oh, okay. I
what's
guess
the night
that.
part?
But they also have like zero build now, so I don't think I would have never figured that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows that they have something called zero build now.
Zero build. I went deaf because I don't know what she's talking about. Zero build.
I think that means no building, right?
It means no building.
I know you play shooters, you know what I'm saying? I've never heard her talk too much about Fortnite, but that could be because she's embarrassed.
Oh.
I wouldn't be embarrassed.
Because
Fortnite is also like the second biggest game in the world.
I'm not convinced.
All right, Pat, Fortnite, you play it a lot?
Trash. I played it when it first came out. A little kid in Korea built an Airbnb and shot me on top of it. Killed the out of me. Deleted it immediately. Downloaded it again to watch the Travis Scott concert, which was dope.
Yeah, I was there.
I was like, it's on my PlayStation, tried it again, deleted it again. I think that it introducing the cryptocurrency or whatever this ruined gaming's, V-Bucks, all that.
V-Bucks, yeah.
Yup. Now every game is just trying to be a cash grab. Not a good game. And I don't like the graphics. Looks dumb.
Lulu, you like shooters. You don't talk about Fortnite too much.
Because you know I hate Fortnite. That's the
hate
one
it?
thing I always say is I hate Fortnite. I think it's trash. Like, grade A.
Grade A trash.
Grade A trash. I played it twice. And I'm not building something and using a little kite to fly down or balloons and.
Hey, Zelda.
Hey, but that happens in
I stand corrected.
Who was in Smash Brothers? But like,
Fortnite is not in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I despise Fortnite. I despise it.
Despise it. Okay, so from hearing your guys' deliberations, I'm
pretty sure. I won't be embarrassed.
It's her. It's
But
so
they also
obvious
have, like,
it's
Zero
her.
build now, so I don't think. Like, Fortnite is also like the second biggest game.
Zero build?
It's a good game.
Or Jamie said that shit.
It's zero build.
Zero build?
I think Fortnite is the best game ever made. Hands down deal ever made. I mean, granted, I'm
You're
new
a
to
hype
gaming.
beast, yo.
Huh?
You're a hype beast.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. You can dance, the emotes are lit,
Oh
the
my
music
God,
is lit.
That was rule number 1.
Only a girl like that would love that game.
Console for console. Nintendo destroys PlayStation and Xbox.
Oh.
Not anymore. It's over.
know who said
Nintendo reign is
I
done,
don't even
dude.
need to
Start
interview
the clock.
nobody. Okay.
I don't agree with this.
Smash Brothers has PlayStation and Xbox characters.
Smash Brothers is a PlayStation and an Xbox.
You know who needs to be in Smash Bros? Bill Gates. Tell me. That'd be crazy.
Microsoft.
He's like Xbox powers.
Controllers and a boomerang.
Mid.
The controller be a one-hit KO. The controller. KO.
He drops it back with the cord.
Melinda.
Brody, what's your favorite Nintendo console of all time?
Man.
All of them.
I mean, you know.
Only one.
Ah, man.
GameCube.
Man, this is hard. I think that.
Super Nintendo. GameCube.
I want to say 64. It stepped up gaming as far as everything was concerned. It brought everything into a 3D space.
Right.
You know, we were still playing around in 2D, 16-bit space, and 64 took it to another level. You got to see, you know, Mario in full action. You got to see, you know, his full outfit.
He spent like 45 seconds.
I know. Pat, favorite Nintendo console?
Damn. 64. I mean, that's definitely up there.
All right, so we know it was him who said it for sure.
Mario himself is
He came in and said, "Hey, it's me, Mario."
All right. I'm over it. Next
Sunday
video.
versus LeBron James.
Next video, dude. Just watching old ass hot ones. Fuck out of here. These videos are usually pretty good.
On January 27th, 1993, two girls, aged 10 and 12, were wandering through a campground in Wayne Fitzgerald State Park, Illinois, running and playing along the interior roadside, when they made a gruesome and chilling discovery.
Saw somebody taking a shit.
Tangled in a bush, as if it had been tossed from a moving vehicle, was the severed head of a woman.
Damn.
The two girls were mortified by what they had found, and immediately called for help. Investigators were quick to arrive at the scene. They searched the entire area where the head was found, but, strangely, they came across no other body parts aside from the woman's head. With nothing to ID her with, they gave her the name Ina Jane Doe, after the nearby village of Ina. Straight away, the authorities set about identifying who the head belonged to. From there, they'd be able to question those who knew her and work out who she had been in contact with prior to her untimely demise. Here's what they had to go on. The doe was Caucasian and had reddish-brown, shoulder-length hair. Forensic experts at the time estimated that she was between 30 and 50 years old, and considering that her face was still relatively fresh and recognizable, she hadn't been dead for more than 2 weeks. Her life had most likely ended prior to her head being removed, and the cut had been made cleanly by someone with a lot of upper body strength. With only a head to work with, they were of course unable to accurately estimate the woman's height and weight, and obviously had no items of clothing or possessions to help them figure out who she may have been. But surely uncovering the doe's identity was just a waiting game. After all, somebody out there must be missing her, right? Family members, friends, colleagues, somebody. Well, that's the thing. No missing persons in the local area matched Ina Jane Doe's description. Whoever she was, she likely wasn't a local, which made the detectives' work that much harder. With there being literally hundreds of thousands of missing people throughout the US at the time, and very limited DNA technology to link the head to any of them, giving Ina Jane back her identity was going to be a monumental task, and figuring out who killed her and where they left the rest of her remains was going to be even harder. Since they couldn't link the doe to any missing person reports, the authorities began actively appealing to the general public, asking if anyone out there knew who she may have been. They did so using this ephod, which made the woman look more ghoulish than human. But why make her look so uncanny? Well, as I've mentioned in past videos, police forensic artists sometimes enhance or exaggerate a deceased or wanted person's most defining features in order to make their ephod more memorable and attention-grabbing. If their reconstructions are too realistic, they run the risk of making their subject look like a generic person. Take, for example, this ephod of a female person of interest in the Madeleine McCann case. Many internet sleuths pointed out that it looked just like Ghislaine Maxwell. Striking resemblance, right? Could Maxwell have been involved in Madeleine's disappearance? Well, as monstrous as Maxwell is, this wasn't her. It's just that the ephod is a little too generic and resembles a lot of women with short black hair. If the artist dramatizes the victim's face, however, the general public are much more likely to think, yeah, actually I did see a girl with a chipmunk-like face a few days back. In the case of the Ina Jane Doe, they employed that same technique. Whoever the doe was, it was determined that in life she had suffered from chronic spasmodic torticollis, otherwise known as wry neck syndrome, a condition that puts stress on the muscles that support the head and makes the neck appear crooked. Using that information, the composite artist twisted the doe's neck in her official ephod and gave her extreme facial asymmetry. This was partly to help jog the memories of those who knew her, and partly because they weren't sure how severe her condition really was, and had very little else to go on, so highlight what you do have. Several other images were also created to help identify the doe over the years, but it's the original that struck a chord with the public. Even today, decades after its creation, people still talk about this image online, and it's considered to be one of the creepiest official ephods ever made. But unfortunately, despite the picture being so widely discussed, it didn't ring any bells, and nobody was calling in to say that the doe was their missing loved one. That got investigators considering that maybe the doe didn't have any friends or family at all. Maybe she was a loner, or a transient, the kind of person that nobody really knows or misses. That's a tragic thought in itself, that this woman's life had come to an end, and she had instantly been forgotten by everyone, left forever without her name. But that thought also infuriated the authorities, as it meant that the Jane Doe's killer or killers were going to escape justice. During the investigation, an employee at a rest stop near where the head was found brought something to the police's attention. The worker reported finding some ominous graffiti in one of the bathroom stalls. The graffiti read, "Serial killer, March 93. 19 and counting. 5 men, 12 women, 2 children. 8 black, 8 white, 3 Hispanic. Don't worry, I'll get to the others." It was never determined whether the graffiti was sincere or some kind of twisted joke, but the fact it was written shortly after the Ina Jane Doe's head was found, at a rest stop close to the state park, is both suspicious and disturbing to think about. Unfortunately, the investigation into Ina Jane Doe's case stalled shortly after the graffiti was found, and very few other leads ever presented themselves. And, just like so many other John and Jane Doe cases before and since, the whole thing froze over. Fortunately, interest in the case didn't. One person who took a vested interest in it was a professor at the University of New Hampshire, one Dr. Amy Michael. As a native of Illinois, she had long wanted to get to the bottom of the Ina Jane Doe rabbit hole. In 2021, she reached out to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department and offered to use her lab and modern forensic methods to ID the victim. And those methods would reveal a truth that nobody saw coming. Today's video is sponsored by Stamps.com. If you run a small business, you know how insanely busy things can get around the holiday season. And if you haven't already started preparing for this winter, you could be falling behind. Thankfully, Stamps has everything you need to make your life easier. Stamps.com is your 24/7 online post office that makes mailing and shipping quick, easy, and cost-effective. Their software gives you access to all of the post office and UPS shipping services you need, right from the comfort of your home or workplace. All you need is a printer and a computer, and you're good to go. Need a package pickup? You can easily schedule one through the Stamps.com dashboard.
I don't give
and with
a
their switch and
fuck
save
about
feature, you can compare carriers and rates to make sure you're getting the best deal possible.
No, not the fucking.
If you run an online store, Stamps.com was handed over to Dr. Amy Michael and her team. A new e-fit and new technology were both employed to help finally answer the question: who was the Ina Jane Doe? On March 11th, 2022, a whole 29 years after her head was found tangled in an Illinois state park bush, we finally had an answer to that question. Thanks to advances in genealogy, Dr. Michael was able to match DNA samples from the Doe's skull to members of her immediate family. The suspected sister of the Doe then gave a DNA sample of her own to confirm that they had in fact found a perfect match. And so it was that the Ina Jane Doe was given back her identity. She was Susan Hope Lund, a 25-year-old mother of 3 who disappeared on Christmas Eve, 1992, whilst on her way home from the grocery store. She had gone to buy pie for Christmas dinner, and to use the store's phone to call her sister since she didn't have one of her own. She didn't own a car either, so she had made the journey on foot. Susan lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, 175 miles from where her head was found. She was pregnant at the time of her vanishing. Her husband and children had been looking for her for decades, but since there hadn't been a way to link Susan's identity to her head, they had been left without closure for more years than Susan herself had been alive. For all that time, they were unsure whether something terrible had happened to Susan, or whether she had abandoned them. Her husband Paul also had to live under suspicion during all those years, with many people spreading rumors that he was in some way responsible for his wife's disappearance. That, detectives confirmed, was an impossibility. Paul was home looking after the children when Susan was, presumably, forced into a vehicle and killed. Sadly, Paul himself passed away shortly before Susan's identity was uncovered, meaning he never learned what happened to his wife or clear his name during his lifetime. The search for Susan had been hampered shortly after she had disappeared, when somebody reported seeing her in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Another supposed sighting of her also occurred in January along Interstate 65 near Louisville, with the anonymous tipster saying that she looked pale and thin and was wearing the same clothes that she had disappeared in. It's unknown if either of these two sightings were legit, but given that Susan had been dead no longer than 2 weeks when her head was discovered, she must have been alive for most of the 2 months she was missing. It's unclear whether she was being held against her will during that period or not. It's also not known whether her life was taken inside the state park or if someone had killed her elsewhere and drove her head out there. But why did the authorities at the time fail to link Ina Jane Doe's head to Susan's missing person report? Well, in March of 1993, an anonymous woman called the authorities, saying that she was Susan Lund, that she was alive and well, and that she didn't want to be found. From then on, most officers just assumed that Susan must still be alive and had run away from her family. Frustratingly, they closed Susan's case without following up on who had actually made that call, and her children were left to grow up assuming that they had been abandoned by their own mother. So, what exactly happened to Susan during her walk back from the grocery store? Well, I think there's one curious point worth looking into. The distance between Susan's home and that store was 8 miles. A 16-mile round trip. That's one heck of a walk. And remember, she was pregnant at the time. What we do know is that Susan made it to the store since she was able to phone her sister. During the call, Susan sounded happy and talked with her sister about their upcoming plans together. Given the distance between Susan's home and the store, I think it's likely that she planned to hitch a ride. I can't see her making it to the store on foot myself, so she likely caught a ride there from a stranger. That person was a good Samaritan. Sadly, I think that whoever she caught a ride back with wasn't. Although the identity of the Ina Jane Doe has finally been determined, the identity of her killer remains a mystery to this day.
What the fuck, man?
There are several other questions that remain unanswered too. Who was the woman that called the police, claiming to be Susan? Was she somehow involved, or was she just sick in the head?